reproduce the issue that we have with SSO, and I'm going to focus on Firefox and Safari using several versions of Macs and SharePoint Foundation. So first and foremost, this is my environment. What I have right now is obviously a domain controller, a couple of Macs, and a couple of systems. So first and foremost, I am running SharePoint in this machine. Let me just go ahead and go ahead and launch it. So this machine is called Member. So if I go to Member, basically what I have here is this SharePoint site that I customized with this news from common criteria, right? Just to level set, if I want to open this site with Firefox, I'm going to do the same. You will see that I'm going to get prompted. So the methodology to change this is to go about config, right? And I'm going to just basically type neg here. So it's going to show me all the things that are negotiated. Actually, if I do negotiate, it's much better. So I'm going to highlight this. This is important. So this parameter, which is network.negotiateAuth using native GSS libraries, this has to be set to true. Okay. So remember, we provide with Centrify provides GSS libraries, serverless libraries. Okay. The other thing would be, what are the trusted URIs? So the easiest thing to deal with this would be just to simply set it up to, in my case, I'm going to do .centrify image.vms, which is my domain, right? And once I do that, anything that I do with member, with that suffix, I will automatically get SSO. So this verifies that this SharePoint site right here does have the capabilities to do SSO. Okay, let's look at the Active Directory side for a second. So I'm opening Active Directory users and computers, and what you will see is that I have a couple of Macs. So I have a couple of Macs joined to the domain. One of them is called Mac 108. If I right click and do properties, you will see that is running actually 10.8.5, right? If I look at another machine that I have here, it's actually running 10.2. So Yosemite and a 10.8. Okay. I'm gonna try with a new user because it wouldn't be fair to try with an old user. There may be like a keychain somewhere. So I'm gonna go Jordan Bender and Jordan Bender .bender. That's gonna be the username, and I'm just gonna set up a password that actually is gonna be complex enough to pass the test here. So I have my new user Jordan Bender, just to make sure that there's no key tabs involved. So I'm gonna go first to the Mac 1010, and I'm gonna basically set them up for a race here. I'm gonna drag this to the side and drag this to the side. Both, I have one machine with Firefox, the other one without. So Jordan Bender, and let's do that. Oh, wrong place, wrong time. There you go. So I'm going to try and log in here, but at the same time, I'm going to try and log in here. So we're off to the races. So while that happens, so saying that the password is going to expire, I'm going to do later. This is actually the GPO that is picked up from the domain, basically how many days to tell you that things are gonna change. So you could actually test that now. So I'm gonna do later, and I have a couple of things happening with GPOs. For example, I have GPOs that put my dock on the left side here, but in this machine I still haven't downloaded a Firefox, so I'm gonna start that. I'm gonna start that, get that going while we work on the other one. So let's have this going here. And this is going to start the download. And while that goes, we're going to work here. So first time logging in. So, you know, welcome to Safari and everything. So I'm going to go right away, boom. And I'm going to, let's open a terminal too. Right, so let's go ahead and open a terminal. And so that way we can do the Kerberos test, right? So first and foremost, AD info -v. So you see the version. I'm running 5.522, and you know, if I do an AD info --diag, and I do a grep for functionality, it's going to tell me that I'm running domain functionality, Windows 2008 R2, and force functionality. Okay, these are good tips to know. Another interesting thing is, you know, if I do klist, I have a TGT. I also have a sys from the GPOs and another for the DC. So let's go ahead and connect. So I'm going to do HTTP. And that will be member.centrify image.vms. So the reason why I'm actually putting the HTTP is because all these new browsers have, you know, like the awesome bar where you can search. So I don't want that to happen. So this worked out fine. This Mac actually is running probably the latest version. So this is actually on macOS 10.10.2. If I do it right here with this Safari, I should be able to do it as well. So let me go ahead and drag this over here a little bit to the middle. If I do HTTP member.centrifyimage.vms. So this actually worked here. If we go back to the terminal on both sides, let's see if it uses Kerberos, I should have an HTTP service ticket, and you can see the HTTP service ticket here. Okay. Let's go ahead and also in this machine I do have Firefox. If I want to open it with Firefox and see that it's a brand new Firefox, I'm going to say do not import anything, and I'm going to make sure that the Firefox here is actually installed as well. There's that DMG here. So I'm going to say not to be the default browser here. So I'm racing in both machines here. So if I go and I do the same thing, HTTP, which I should just copy paste it at this point, member.centrifyimage.vms, what will happen here is most likely that I'm going to get prompted, or I'm going to get a blank page. So I'm pretty sure that's probably what you're getting at this point. I'm going to do about config. Actually, my typing is pretty bad. I'm going to do negotiation or negotiate. Okay, so I'm making sure that you know, using negotiate with the native GSSlib is set up, right? And I'm gonna go and modify the URIs, and just to make it simple, dot centrify image .vms, and I'm gonna press OK. And now if I wanna HTTP member now I got SSO. So this was on 10.10. Let's see what happens on 10.8.5. So I need to drag this application here. I'm using a GPO in which people that belong to the IT staff group do have administrative access. So if I look here, I use an account called dworth. So as a tip for you, you can do AD query user -a dworth, and that's going to show you all the groups that she belongs to. And if you look around here, you should see that IT staff is actually that, and that's what grants her the ability to, in this case, load applications. So I'm gonna go ahead and open Firefox, and it's gonna be the same. I'm not gonna, let's see what happens when I try. I think that's where you get the blank page. There may be a parameter that is missing, or maybe the syntax. There's a challenge with the syntax there, so I'm gonna go ahead and open here and do not import anything. So not now. About config, negotiate, and making sure that negotiating with the native GSS lib is okay. Dot Centrify .vms. I'm gonna actually copy it now, so I don't have to type that much. And if I do go here and I do HTTP and member, so I should get that. Chrome happens to be a little bit more tricky, but it should just work as well. It will do NTLM. For Kerberos, there's other things that you may have to do, but I think this may be a good test. Check if any of the steps may be different, and let me know. Otherwise, we need to have a WebEx. And another tip, maybe this helps, is the service principal names. And even in the case of SharePoint, if the SharePoint site is properly configured for Kerberos. So let me show you something. So you could do AD query user -a and then the name of the server with a $, member $, right? And one of the cool things that it will do is that it will show you the service principal names that are registered. So remember, on Kerberos, you have to have not only the tickets, but the service has to be properly registered with the right name and all that stuff. So and the fact that SSO and you're getting service tickets means that things are working well with our libraries and everything, but sometimes it's the application. But every environment is different, and I understand that. So I'm hoping this actually helps, and otherwise I hope you're having a great weekend.